Hi there. My name is Chris Hamilton. I'm the director of the legal working group for Protect Sudbury, and I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the recently published tentative decision of the EFSB, unfortunately in favor of Eversource and the project. Talk to you about the process before the EFSB from this point forward, and then discuss the ultimate appeal that we've long anticipated filing in the Supreme Judicial Court to challenge the decision. So the EFSB has rendered its tentative decision, and the reason it's called tentative is because we're now allowed to make a public comments about the tentative decision. And the volunteers of Protect Sudbury have been working almost around the clock to review and pore over that 240-page decision and find all of the multiple flaws in that decision and critique those and present those critiques in written format to the EFSB. Then the EFSB has scheduled a public hearing for December 17th. And while we're on the topic of the public hearing, I'd like to make a plea for you to find some time in your calendar to come out and support Sudbury and Protect Sudbury before the EFSB at that hearing by showing up and demonstrating just how irritated our town is about how this project has been thrust upon us. And so at the public hearing, our attorney and the town's attorneys and Eversource's attorneys will make arguments for and against the decision that's been rendered. And following that public hearing, the EFSB will render its quote-unquote final decision. Now, that final decision is what gets appealed to the Supreme Judicial Court, but not before the record is assembled and certified by the EFSB. And we expect that that process will probably take several months to put that record together, because you may recall that it's a rather extensive, voluminous record that's been presented to the EFSB. And that's going to take some time to put together. Once that's certified and assembled by the EFSB, then the Supreme Judicial Court will call for the briefs of the parties. And those briefs will get submitted to the Supreme Judicial Court sometime, most likely over the summer. And then the Supreme Judicial Court will schedule oral arguments perhaps in the fall to argue in favor or against the project in the EFSB's decision. So while we're on the topic of the appeal, you may recall, and I've said this many times, that we have strategized from the beginning that our most fair opportunity, that the opportunity to get before a truly neutral, a truly neutral forum where we can get a fair shake, would be the Supreme Judicial Court. And all of our efforts to this point have been to build and demonstrate the weaknesses in the project and the reasoning by building a rather significant record against the project at the EFSB, and then present that to the Supreme Judicial Court to demonstrate just how ill-advised the project is. Now, and we've done a very good job of doing that. And again, as I said in the past, Richard Canoff and I believe that we have a very strong case against this decision and against this project. And if we truly get before a neutral, fair-minded body like the Supreme Judicial Court, that we've got an excellent chance of winning on appeal. So all of our efforts to this point have been to build that appeal. But we now are at the point where we have to actually fund the appeal. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about. And we are trying to put together another $50,000 so that we can fund this appeal and give Richard Canoff the tools he needs to put together an outstanding brief and make outstanding arguments to the Supreme Judicial Court. And I think that $50,000 is very doable given how generous you've been in the past. But please dig deep and donate to Protect Sudbury so that we can prosecute this appeal. Thank you so much for your time. And by all means, if you have any questions or would like any further information about the process or the appeal, you can send an email to me at the Legal Working Group on our website, and I'd be happy to answer those questions that you might have. Thank you and have a great day.